The wall on which the prophets wrote is cracking at the seams.
Some of your hardest times are the most valuable times. A lot of people spend a lot of time blocking our feelings, trying to fill that void all the time with maybe weed, addictions, coffee, food, comfort, TV. If you're familiar with that, a lot of people, they get into a place where they kind of try to like avoid feeling their feelings in a way. Those feelings that come up is the most valuable stuff to process. It's ironic, like a mental breakdown. I've heard many times, like a rapper NF, he says like, some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree with. On another hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I was never hit rock bottom, would I be the person I am today? I don't believe so. I kind of fucked that up a bit, but you know what I mean. I've heard some people like Hamza and these personal development channels, they speak of it, where basically it's like, if your life is comfortable enough, you will stay there. But the discomfort can activate you in such a way that it will register that like you can't continue like this or something. Where sometimes like your hardest days teach you the most, and often what you don't want to hear is what you need to hear. And it's a blessing in disguise. Like if it gets too much and everything overloads and you end up having a fucking breakdown, those feelings that you process during where you really confront life, and if you get overwhelmed and you, whatever it may be, if you cry or whatever, that will reprogram you, that will reinvent you from the ground up. For example, like, it could take maybe a death of a family member or something radical like that, or an extreme accident. I hope it doesn't have to take many of you to get to that point, potentially. And maybe a lot of you are healthy and well-rounded where you don't have to have this occur. I'm thinking of this concept about the devil being cornered. Like, I think, like, when you initially incarnate, everyone has this devil in them, which is selfishness. And you have to really keep it under control. If you don't, you'll learn the hard way. And I think, like, it's weird. Like, the ego wants to get away with as much as it can in a selfish manner. And it will maybe attempt to do that until it gets cornered and realizes that it's not feasible. Don't make a deal with the devil. Trust me, the devil is like, when you sense that you're making a deal with the devil, yeah, and you go in, like, temptation is a devilish game, yeah, you sense that, yeah, it's like, it's almost as if, yeah, it's like the devil's trying to be your mate. Like, the devil's tempting you, yeah? And it's like, oh, I'll make a deal with the devil, yeah? And it seems like you got to be a fool to make a deal with the devil, because it's the fucking devil, as if you're not going to get backstabbed. You can't make a deal with a devil. That don't make sense. Like, they won't hold up their end of the deal. That's what it is. And fucking... You'll make a deal with the devil and it will fucking backfire. Yeah, it's like the devil's trying to be your mate, yeah, and trying to, like, coerce you into making this deal. But it's a fucking trap, fam. That's the nature of making the deal with the devil, and then through trial and error, you will not make that same mistake again. Karma is real. Yeah, I don't know, it depends how much you struggle with yourself. Like, you might have seen on my story a second ago, I put on this no more cocaine Shane, and this guy keeps struggling with relapsing on cocaine and stuff, and he's really fighting with himself and suffering a lot. And what I mean is, it can take the type of thing of, like, imagine if he has a daughter, I don't know if he does, or even family, and, like, they really want him to quit or something. And for lack of a better way of thinking about it. And then, like, he's like, oh, I'll promise I'll quit. And then if that person, like, dies or something, and then it's like, fuck, they never actually got to see me sober up. And, and that could be a lot to deal with. And obviously that's a very hard, turbulent time. But that intense energy is actually the very thing that will bootstrap you to fucking end the addiction. That's what I mean. It's like some of your hardest times, processing that hard shit bootstraps you to get better in a weird way. some people, like, it depends, like, my ego is so fucking solid, and my selfishness, or whatever the fuck it is, like, so I'll just keep testing my luck until, it's like I'll push shit as far as I can until it's literally, like, has to turn around, type thing. Now, like, and that's what I was putting a second ago. I say I hate myself because I love myself. It's like I'm self-critical because I would love to change so that I actually take care of myself better, in terms of, like, what I mean is fucking all my life I've been fighting with my lower self, the Wakito, or the anti-you, lower self versus higher self, where it's like I'll literally take the piss for as long as possible until I physically can't anymore, or something like that. Like I'll procrastinate until I leave it to the very last second, that sort of stuff, yeah. And that's when the devil gets cornered, literally. Like, you need to be more in selfless service, like. Yeah, I think, like, all my life, like, I push my luck a bit. Like, I buy weed that I can't afford. Like, and it's selfishness to the extent where you sabotage your future self. So it's not even, like, you do suffer for it, and it bites you in the ass, you get the karma. Where it's present selfishness. Like, I will choose my present self now over my future self. So my future self will have to deal with the repercussions, and that's a lack of self-love. I've done that all my life. Like, I'm not going to continue that. But it's, yeah, I'll self-sabotage myself because I want something now, and I know that in the future I'm going to have to pick up the pieces, and then I end up hating my past self decisions because I self-sabotage myself, or I choose my present self over my future self. So it'll be good now, but it'll be shit later. If I buy weed now, it'll be good now, but it'll be shit later. Same with that cocaine Shane. It'll be good to sniff a line of cocaine, but it'll be shit when he wakes up in the morning shattered. Or even sex or something. People distract themselves often to run from pain and these feelings. I didn't used to get it as much as I was younger, or maybe I was less aware of it, but basically, like, when you feel that discomfort and you want to go and turn to sex or food, and, like, you're trying to fill that void, right? Addiction stems from trying to fill the void. So that stuff that you're avoiding is actually the valuable stuff, like those feelings that you basically don't want to feel. Like, when you get the feeling like you want to run to a joint, or you want to, like, sometimes I've had it where I'm literally like, I want to distract myself, like, and, like, I'll try and, like, see this post the other day saying, like, girls, your body is a temple, not a gas station for lost souls. And yeah, it's like when I'm trying to fill that void sometimes, and it's really not self-love or self-respect, I'm not saying when, but it's like sometimes I can be in a state, or I have been in the past, where it's like, I just want a distraction. I don't want to feel, like, I want to fill the void. I don't want to sit there and feel like, because like maybe there's not much food, or I don't have any weed, and people do this. Yeah, if you don't have one vice, you'll go to another. It's like, I remember one night I fucking basically hooked up with some girl, and I wouldn't have done that if I had weed. And sometimes someone's messaged me before. They're trying to hook up with me, and I'm like, you got any weed? They're like, nah. I'm like, that's why you're messaging me. It's because you ain't got a different vice. And they're like, so what if that's the reason? Too much information, kind of, but you just want something to fill the void, whatever it is. And basically, counterintuitively, like, you will stay stuck if you keep filling the void. This is how weed can keep people stuck, is because if you keep staying in your cycle of vices, they will literally take your life, where it's like, you never feel and process anything because you're blocking it with the weed. And these feelings are trying to come up, but every time they want to come up, you turn to weed. Yeah, I remember one night I was like that, like, I wish I had a joint, but I didn't have a joint, and then, yeah, it's not good. It's really, like, dark shit. It's a lack of self-love, it's disrespectful to yourself, it depends, but, like, yeah. And then so hook up with somebody, maybe, but you see, that's keeping you distracted. It's a paradox. It's weird. It's like, until you let those feelings come up, often in meditation, and I've been somewhat avoiding meditation for like 2 years, like, and I'm going to get back into it more, but it's like, basically, like, I was on it, I was doing meditation hard, and I think I'd done too many psychedelics, and a lot of shit was kicking off in my life, and I ended up trying to run from those feelings, and hide from those feelings, and like, just cope with a vice. And the vice can be valid at some point, like, you pick it up as a survival strategy, maybe to relate to people, get friends in a social circle, break the ice, something to make you it's a pacifier, right? You use it as a vice, and it can help you survive at some point, so don't hate on yourself. It's at a certain point you have to transcend those vices, where it served you in the past, but say with weed, you can get to a certain point where you start to reevaluate it, like, this ain't doing what it used to do for me, it's actually holding me back. And yeah, like, when you can't get what you want, and you get all those feelings coming up, and you want to, like, turn to something like an addiction, yeah, that's why people get addicted, is because even if the addiction is self-destructive, like sniffing coke or something, they would rather do that, and get the pain of that, than feel the pain of processing, like, the reality of what's happening. People block pain all day. You see it a lot in culture and society, is, I realise that, like, when you walk around a town or anything, it's like, so many people, most people, they spend most time blocking pain. They have their addictions, their cycle of vice. I need coffee, I need a fag, I need weed. And then when you can't get it, what happens? You start, like, getting weird and that, because you normally turn to something like that. And when you start, like, you can't get your addiction, you start having a breakdown. So sometimes when people can't get weed, like, people in my family are like it, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I got really down bad over the past winter. And I would get to a state where it's, when I would desperately need weed, like, my whole body, my whole system, I need weed, my brain needs weed, yeah, and I'll try and get it, but when I can't get it, sometimes, later that night, I end up crying, and all this shit releases out of me. But what I realise is that shit that, like, that's what you need to process, because until you feel it, you can't heal it, and you're blocking it because it's painful, you don't want to feel that shit. But if you keep blocking it, you won't transmute and integrate it. You need to, like, give yourself space in meditation and, like, let and transmute the pain, stop blocking it, and then through that you will actually get the insights that you need to stop the suffering and to change. And, like, but if you keep on, every time you feel uncomfortable, you run from discomfort and you go hook up with someone, or you go watch TV or something, yeah, that avoidance of the void will never let you feel the feelings necessary to evolve. Because there are a lot of stagnant people, and they are stagnant because they have access to their vice all the time.